Today, we're diving into a really powerful story about human nature, pulled straight from the book of Numbers. It's this incredible narrative about desire, about being unhappy with what you have, and about the terrifying consequences of getting exactly what you think you want. Let's get into it. So let me ask you this. What happens when you get exactly what you wish for? It's a question we've all probably thought about. And this ancient story, it explores that exact idea in just about the most dramatic way possible. Keep that question in the back of your mind as this all unfolds. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in the middle of this vast, unforgiving desert. The people of Israel, they've been freed from slavery in Egypt, and now they're wandering. But here's the thing, freedom isn't quite the paradise they imagined. And this deep, gnawing dissatisfaction has really started to take root. It starts out as this kind of general murmur, a widespread complaint that just sours the whole mood of the camp. And this complaining, it definitely doesn't go unnoticed. It's like the spark that's about to light the fuse on a major crisis. And wow, this really paints a picture, doesn't it? On one side, you have their memory of Egypt, which is this lush, diverse menu. Fish, cucumbers, melons, all these rich, savory flavors. But their reality now, in the desert, it's just manna. Day in, day out. I mean, sure, it's a miracle food, but it's monotonous. It's just a fascinating look at how our memory can romanticize the past, right? Making even a time of slavery seem better than a challenging present. And you can really hear the desperation in their own words here. They're not just saying they're hungry. They feel like their very souls are dried away. That craving for meat becomes this all-consuming obsession, and you can just feel their contempt for the daily manna. Now, this massive wave of discontent, it doesn't just stay with the people. It builds and builds until it lands squarely on the shoulders of their leader, Moses, pushing him right into a personal crisis of his own. I mean, can you imagine the weight of all that negativity? Moses is feeling every bit of it. He just comes right out and says that this burden is too much for one person to carry. He is completely, totally overwhelmed by the responsibility and the constant complaining from the very people he's trying to lead. And then he reaches his absolute limit. This isn't just frustration anymore. It's a plea for death. He's literally saying he would rather die than keep facing this impossible situation and his own misery. This is a leader at their absolute lowest point. So in response to this double whammy of a crisis, the people's craving and Moses' despair, a divine plan is set in motion. But this plan has two very different parts. And believe me, it has a very, very sharp edge. Okay, so here's the plan broken down. Part 1 deals with Moses' burnout by appointing 70 elders to help him lead. But Part 2, the part we're focused on, deals directly with the people's craving. They're going to get meat. And not just for one meal, but for an entire month. Now Moses, he's skeptical. And who can blame him? He's looking at the sheer number of people he's responsible for. We're talking 600,000 men, and that's not even counting women and children. How in the world could he possibly get enough meat to feed a population that big in the middle of a desert? The scale of this is just staggering. And here it is, the ominous twist. Be careful what you wish for, right? The promise comes with this terrifying warning. They will get exactly what they want in such an overwhelming abundance that it will become disgusting to them. The blessing is literally designed to become a curse. So this brings us to the dramatic climax of the story. The promise is about to be fulfilled, that craving is about to be satisfied, but it's going to come with an immediate and terrifying cost. And then it happens. A wind sweeps in, and it carries this unbelievable number of quail in from the sea. They literally cover the ground for miles around the camp, piled nearly 3 feet high. The people's wish is granted in the most shocking, literal way you can imagine. This is the moment everything turns. For 2 full days and a night, the people are just frantically gathering quail. They finally have the meat they lusted after. And just as they take that first bite, the action freezes, building the tension for what's about to happen next. Before they could even swallow, the consequence hits. A massive plague just rips through the camp, killing the very people who had craved so intensely. Their desire was satisfied, but it led directly and instantly to their destruction. A swift, brutal lesson. And so no one would ever forget. The place was given a name to mark what happened there forever.
Kibrath Hatachava. It translates literally to the graves of craving. The location itself becomes this permanent, chilling memorial to the deadly outcome of unchecked desire.
So, this ancient tale leaves us with a powerful and maybe a little uncomfortable question for our own lives. It really forces us to think about our own desires and to consider that very fine line between what we genuinely need and what's just a destructive craving. It's a question that's just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago out there in the desert.